After Endgame, there's a lot of questions involving Phase 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home. Well, Far From Home trailer just dropped today, and it caused more questions than it answered. Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome to our little talk on Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I'm here with John. I do everything from TV, movies, superheroes, and gaming. What were your first thoughts when you watched the trailer?
Um, well, I liked how they kind of picked up right after basically Endgame, which we had known that this was going to pick up right after Endgame, but
Yeah.
like so close that he's still using the Iron Spider costume, at least in the beginning. Um, he's not using it later in the trailer, so I don't know what happens to it. Um, and then of course he's just dealing with the fact that he just watched Tony Stark like die in front of him, and so now he's got to like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
And I like that. I liked the premise of the trailer is that I think that Peter's like, this they're like we need a new Iron Man, so to speak, and it's implied that Peter would take that over. Of course, Peter can never replace Iron Man, so I think the plot of the movie is going to be that you can't replace him. You don't need to be the next Iron Man. You just need to be the next Spider-Man, and just do that well. Which I think which I'm fine with that. I'd like that if that's the case, that then it's a coming of. The last one was a coming of age. Now it's a kind of coming into your
Maturity?
identities. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Um, so if that is the case, I don't know. Like I was telling you before we started filming, a day ago or so, I said that Marvel was not going to do anything in the multiverse, and then this trailer confirmed that we are doing stuff in the multiverse. So I don't know if I can predict anything accurately anymore.
At least they want you to think that.
Yeah,
I have a
it could.
feeling it could be Mysterio doing a con. Uh, because I mean, what better way to um, connect with Nick Fury and all than use the opportunity of the snap to say, "Oh, I'm just from another universe."
But the thing is, does the general public know what the Avengers did? Or do they just know that the Avengers brought everybody back, Tony Stark died in the process, that's it? Because it doesn't seem like that's something you'd
Yeah,
spread among people that we did time travel and that there was the multiverse, because you don't want that kind of known to the general populace, because you don't want people like you
my
don't want people
gra-
that,
my
yeah.
grandma is alive in that world.
Exactly. So I would just find it's not impossible, I guess, but it's hard to believe that Quentin Beck, if he's not from an alternate timeline, he's just from our Earth,
Would
just
know.
figured all that, yeah, would know that. He found all that out and then created this big con. Because there's a con man, and then there's just like, there's just, that's too much. I think
Because
what the public probably knows is the Avengers recovered the Infinity Stones. Tony Stark, for whatever, there was a latch latch last ditch effort in which Tony Stark had to use the stones. He died and
it brought
uh,
everyone back.
and brought everybody back, or something to that extent. You don't have to explain that the Avengers time traveled to do
Yeah,
that. And plus, you don't even have to explain what happened to the stone. The Avengers recovered them, used them, and now they destroyed. That's all the general public has to know. Um,
I'm
so
I'm very cautious when it comes to the multiverse now
so am I.
because it's opening Pandora's box.
That's why I didn't want Marvel to do it, and that's why I didn't think they were going to do it. But apparently, they are. Assuming,
Because then any consequences don't matter. Uh, they can just pull heroes out of their ass instead of establishing them because they could say, "Oh, it's just from this world."
so I don't think that's. I don't think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And now, actually, now that this is again, we're assuming that what they say in the trailer about the multiverse is true,
Yes.
right? If we assume that is the case, I'm starting to believe that what Cody was saying before on Saturday about how they could introduce the X-Men via something similar to this,
Hmm.
I'm starting to believe that might be more probable if this is true. So, but of course, the thing it's weird because we know that Quentin Beck and Mysterio is a bad guy.
Yes.
So we just don't know what the angle is and what's happening and what's going to happen. Like where's the con? The question is also like I forgot who. I don't know if I was listening to a video about this or shit. I can't remember. But the question is, okay, this is Quentin Beck from his multiverse
Yeah.
realm. Where's the Quentin Beck from our universe?
Yeah. So is there going to be two Jake Gyllenhaals running around?
Well, that's the thing. Like maybe what if one came over from another world,
Hmm.
right? Who was legitimately like good guy Mysterio. Then the Quentin Beck from our universe killed that guy, and then took over the persona, and he is more of a con man now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
You could do that. The thing is, though, what they're interesting, he's not going to be all bad, though. I don't think they might go down that right, only because they tried to kind of build it up with Vulture that his character he is bad guy, but it does not mean he is bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, I
Um,
fully understand.
so I think they might try to do that again. I think they want to make the Sinister Six, if they ever do that, or whatever the equivalent the Marvel Universe is going to do, all villains that are very sympathetic and are all not the evilest of evil dudes.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's hard to not fucking love Jake Gyllenhaal.
exactly. So I don't think they're going to make him whatever makes him the bad guy. I don't think they're going to make him like evil, really, like
Yeah.
actual evil. I haven't gone back and rewatched it close enough to tell you that. I think, at least from the rumors that I heard behind the scenes, was that the water one is basically just going to be Hydro Man,
Hmm.
though probably not,
Hydro Man.
not the real Hydro Man, but because you can't have a
You can't
water
have,
element.
yeah, you can't have two.
Exactly. Oh, it just occurred to me. I think what it might just be is that Quentin Beck comes over from his world, and it's as we had theorized initially anyway. But the elementals are all just nonsense that he came up with.
Hmm.
But maybe he's using technology from another world that we're not familiar with.
Hmm.
It makes it clear that Peter is kind of, and combining this trailer with the last trailer, that Peter is not really willing to be Spider-Man right now, just because of what happened in
Yeah.
Endgame, and he doesn't really want to do it on his. And then, but Nick Fury basically he gets in contact with him before I guess he goes on the trip because he's still in the Iron Spider costume, and then after. And it's interesting on why Fury needs him so badly. Unless I think that it would not surprise me if something is revealed that like uh, Tony Stark left something behind, basically to tell either Fury or wherever that this kid, he's still a kid, but he is going to be, I think, a very important player to some degree, and I think that might influence why Nick Fury is going, because it just seems strange that Nick Fury would go through all of this trouble to get Peter Parker to do this stuff. Well, I think actually that it's interesting. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think, has done a pretty good job pointing out that all of these characters, for the most part, are doing something important somewhere else all of the time. And so it does beg the question, and I think this might be what Nick Fury's angle is. It's like, what happens when you have something like Mysterio, or what's happening with these elementals, which is important, but not world-ending. Nothing like, because Captain Marvel's been established that she's fighting this galactic civil war or whatever. Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme who's like guarding our dimension. What happens when you have just a threat that's kind of medium level?
But he's guarding our dimension. You literally have someone bust through from another dimension there's a crack in our dimension. Like, that.
Well, that's sciencey stuff. Doctor Strange works in magicy stuff is different.
Okay. Tomatoes, tomatoes.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Continually bothering me is that Spider-Man keeps revealing his secret identity.
He's
Everybody,
literally sitting on a well-lit building top,
with
looking
his
at a
mask on,
mural.
or the scene where he shakes the hand with the Mysterio and he's got his fucking mask off, and it's just like,
He's
really?
literally walking around there with no mask.
Yeah. And then I don't think this is actually how the conversation goes. But in the trailer, it's implied that Michelle knows that he's Spider-Man. In
Yeah.
that conversation, I think they cut around that conversation. I think it's going to be more like she thinks like, "Oh, you like me?" It was kind of obvious to tell, and then the Spider-Man thing will come up in there in somewhere, and then Peter will deny it and whatever. I don't think she's going to straight up say, "Yeah, I totally know you're Spider-Man."
Yeah,
But
that's if she does, that's kind of bogus.
otherwise, like again, what the fuck is the point of the secret identity?
He has no secret identity. That's why they saying that he's the next Iron Man. He's just gonna be like, I am Spider-Man. I do have to say, I am excited to see this movie though. Compared to what I was the first trailer, I am more excited to see it now.
Yeah, so am I. It will be interesting. I don't know. I guess I could. The question is, do I feel like after I watched it this morning, am I more excited to watch it or less excited? Um, I think a little bit more, but not a lot. Like I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna. I'm so looking for because there are other movies I'm looking forward to. Like Detective Pikachu comes out
Mm-hmm.
this Friday. I'd be interested in that. I'm really excited for Godzilla again.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm totally gonna go see this movie. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I got
So
you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And like always, I will see you in the next one. Later.